All right, let's go. It is game time. Today is Sunday, April 17th, and I'm back at you to recap my results from yesterday's USFL game that featured the New Jersey Generals and the Birmingham Stallions. Today, we're also going to discuss several, if not multiple, mistakes I've made while making these videos, things I've learned, things I've realized, and then I'm also going to discuss my successes, because I've had a few of them, and I hope to have more. At the end of this video, hang around, because I'm also going to give you my best picks from today's slate of USFL games. So hang around and enjoy the show. This is Common Sense Sports, and I am J.K. Wilson. And this is the show where all sports matter, especially the small sports. Okay, guys, please remember that we are a new channel, and we are on our way to 1,000 subscribers. So please remember to hit that subscribe button down below and show your support for this channel. By subscribing, you're joining the Common Sense Army, and that's the soldiers I believe who are out there doing the right thing and being responsible when it comes to sports betting. If you find the content of my video enjoyable and helpful in any kind of manner, please remember to also hit that like button that's also located on this screen. If you're already a subscriber and you've been here for a while supporting the channel, remember to also like the videos every time you look at them, because that also helps the channel grow. All right, let's jump right into the recap from yesterday's USFL game between the New Jersey Generals and the Birmingham Stallions. They had a final score of 28 for the Birmingham Stallions to 24 of the New Jersey Generals. Yesterday's spread ranged, like I told you in yesterday's video, from a 2.0 earlier in the week to a minus 2.5, which is what I took it at. And yesterday's spread on the game prior to the game was a minus 3. Looks like the Birmingham, not looks like, but the Stallions won by a full point. So my spread yesterday of a minus 2.5, it hit. So at this point in time, I am 1-0. And that's pretty good for me starting off with a young channel for my first pick in the inaugural USFL game. Just a few highlights from the game yesterday. We're going to start on the side of the Stallions, and I'll tell you, man, I thought they were going to lose and not cover. I thought I was going to lose that bet. But the Stallions were actually led by QB Jamar Smith, and he was 11 for 21 for 156 yards with 1 touchdown. Now, that touchdown wasn't throwing, it was a running touchdown, and he ran for that one on the game-winning score. Next, I want to take a look at the wide receivers, and that's Mitchell and Angel, who combined for 2 touchdowns. And wide receiver Osiris Mitchell getting 5 receptions on 96 yards on 7 targets. So Mr. Mitchell there and Mr. Angeline there had a great day there for the Stallions. The defense had a decent day overall. I was worried about them throughout the game. They got gashed in the run. The defense was highlighted by linebacker Demarius Gates, who led the team with 10 tackles, 7 of those solo, with 1 sack and a tackle for a loss. The Generals on the other side of the ball, however, had a pretty strong game, and I tell you, for most of that game, I thought they were going to win it. I mean, they just looked really good, a lot better than I gave them in their rankings. So we'll take a look at those rankings again in my next video, but let's take a look at how they fared yesterday. In my opinion, they were really paced by a 3-headed running attack, a 3-headed running back committee. That committee combined for 44 rushing attempts throughout the entire game. That gave them a net of 222 yards rushing. It resulted in 1 touchdown, and that touchdown was by quarterback DeAndre Johnson, who contributed actually 98 of those rushing yards. So the Generals used 2 quarterbacks yesterday, and one of them clearly is a running quarterback. So they have a kind of a 2-headed dragon at quarterback and a 3-headed dragon at running back. So like I said, they look strong throughout the entire game until the very end right there. At the wide receiver position, we had a little bit of history made yesterday, and that was wide receiver Randy Satterfield. Randy Satterfield actually caught the first touchdown early in the first quarter, historic touchdown thrown to him by quarterback Luis Perez. And both of those guys will go down in the Hall of Fame for the first score in the new USFL League. And he actually finished the day with 100 reception yards on 5 receptions with that 1 touchdown. So a great day overall for the USFL. The Generals showed very well, even though they lost the game. And the Birmingham Stallions did cover the spread. So pretty good game, pretty good day. And I'm very happy that I won the bet. Hey, please remember, if you're new to this channel or you find the content of my channel to your liking, please hit that subscribe button, as I'm on my way to 1,000 subscribers, trying to build that common sense army. Become a common sense soldier when you subscribe. Also, if you like the content, hit the like button. I know those were 2 likes in a row, but it's just what I do. Once again, common sense bets. Subscribe and like. So that brings us to the next part of this video. This part is about mistakes and successes. These mistakes and successes are what I've gone through so far, being a new vlogger, having a new channel, and trying to learn everything, and I do mean everything, from the ground up. So with that said, this portion of the video is actually really going to come not from my script. I'm doing a good job and a better job at scripting out my show. I think that'll be better for you guys in the long run and better for me and the quality of the show. But mistakes, they got to go. So number 1, I did write this one down because number 1, and I just did it, is the ums. I know if you watch the videos, So maybe one day I'll do a little short video of all the ums that I do in my video. Now, other than that, I think that I had several things that I was worried about too much. I had the normal thing of getting all the equipment together. I'm working with an iPad that's old. I don't have a microphone, as you can tell by the tone or the quality of my voice. And I'm working on an old computer that is probably 6, 7, 8 years old. And basically, pen, paper, are the things that I'm utilizing along with my computer to do this. So I need to improve on the equipment to make the show better, and I will. So those mistakes is one thing. Another thing, too, is at first I was worried about the likes and what you guys may think about the content. Quite honestly, I do have a concern, and I do think about putting out content that you may like. But the thing I want to focus on is putting out content that I know I like, and hope that you find it likable as well. So I'm going to stop worrying about the views and all that and just work on the quality of the content that I'm delivering to you guys. And there it goes again. But once again, I find that I do the ums when I come from the heart and I come from the mind. And as I grow with this, I'm sure those will lessen and completely stop altogether. But I don't want to dwell just on negatives. You're going to make mistakes when you're brand new. You're not going to do things right. The number one thing I do want to say is that I do have some successes. The number one success is the fact that I'm right here. I'm doing the video. I'm not worried about quality of the video, quality of my voice. I think my voice carries very well without, but I'll get a new microphone and it'll be better. I am pleased also with the fact that I'm putting out videos. I'm not afraid. I'm not procrastinating, worried about, they gonna like my video? Man, can't get caught up on all that kind of stuff. And, you know, proud also in the fact that I have a certain commitment level. You know, not afraid, committed. To me, those are keys, I think, to success. Not going to sit here and dwell on it and pat myself on the back because I have a long way to go. But I am going to give myself credit for what I have done so far. So I will continue to put these videos out. I will continue to improve in these videos. And I will definitely try to grow the Common Sense Army. So remember, if you like and want to subscribe and become a Common Sense soldier, get that subscribe button, hit it. get that like button, hit it, and join the Common Sense Army. All right, it's that time of the video. It's the thing I kind of promised you guys early on. My best picks for today's slate of USFL games. Now, once again, I want to remind you guys that I did put a video out about the rankings prior to week one. Yesterday's game kind of blew that up a little bit. I mean, Generals were way better than I thought in how I ranked them, but Birmingham did win the game, and I had those guys ranked higher than the Generals. So I'm sure today's games are going to bring a lot of surprises. Today we have at 11 a.m., which is very soon. We have on NBC and Peacock, we have the Houston Gamblers facing the Michigan Panthers. At 3 p.m. on USAA, we have the Philadelphia Stars taking on my New Orleans Breakers. Hope they break them up. And then again at 7 p.m. tonight to cap things off on FS1, we have the Tampa Bay Bandits taking on the Pittsburgh Maulers. Now, all games are in one stadium, so that should be a pretty, dynamic feat to pull off today. Not quite certain that's happened in the NFL or a stadium per se with 3 games in one day at a professional level. But based upon yesterday's game, I'm sure the USFL will pull it off. Now, if you give me a second here, guys, I'll go ahead and pull up on my computer what I have using FanDuel and DraftKings today. I'm sure most of the other sports books will pick up the USFL, especially after the success of yesterday's inaugural game. However, I find that these two are consistent so far with having good stats. Right now, for the Houston Gamblers game, and excuse me, let me make certain I got the right game up. Yes. All right, guys, bear with me. Not trying to waste your time, but I am a little, like I said, slow with this so far. Houston Gamblers right now opening up as the underdog at plus 3.5 on FanDuel. Michigan is also is the favorite at minus 3.5. Both of those are holding a minus 110 value on the lines right now. Money line is at a plus 125 in favor of the Gamblers. So if you feel that you want to gamble a little bit, and put down on that plus value bet right there, that may not be a bad thing. Honestly, at plus 125, it's pretty good little return there. Michigan Panthers are at a minus 150 on the money line, and the over and under is at 42.5. So you take the over at a minus 115 value, and you take the under at a minus 105 value, 42.5 points scored. Looking at yesterday's game, I mean, it's very possible. We had a total of 52 points in the game yesterday, but however, that was that team, that game, and this is a different one. So I'm not going to fool with the over-under just yet until I get a better baseline on USFL. So I'm going to pretty much stick with the spread. So my pick for the first game between the Gamblers and the Panthers, I'm going to go with the favorite Panthers minus 3.5. So with that said, that gives me a small, quick segue. Look for a later video on how to use sports books to make smart, common sense betting decisions when making these picks. And look forward to that video in the future. Next, we want to go to the game I'm looking forward to seeing is at 3 p.m. That is the Philadelphia Stars taking on my New Orleans Breakers. Now, of course, you guys can tell by the tone and what I talk about with the Saints all the time that I'm a New Orleans person through and through. So, of course, I'm going to go ahead and ride with the Breakers. But honestly, based upon the rankings in my last video that I showed you guys, the Breakers are a better team in my opinion. But the Philadelphia Stars and the Breakers are about what and what. So it should be a good game. And the odds are kind of showing that. The lines are showing that right now. DraftKings has that New Orleans Breakers as a favorite at -2 at plus 100 odds. So you know I'm making that bet right there. The Stars are coming in at as an underdog at +2 with a -120. The over and under is 43 with a -110 value. And the money line is a plus 105 for the Stars and a minus 125 for the breakers. So if you don't want to go with the spread, you're a little bit worried about covering that, that's a great play there on the money line either way, depending on who you're betting on, the Stars or the breakers. Of course, for me today, I will make a play on the spread at plus 100 and another play at minus 125, and those probably be half units. And the reason why they be half units is because the USFL is new. And once again, another subject for a later video about taking good value but using, how should I say, common sense bet size. So again, I'm not quite certain if I said that, but I am riding on the spread for certain at a plus 100. That will be my number one pick, but I'm also going to put a half a unit down more than likely on that money line for the breakers as well at minus 125, which brings up a good thing about maybe hedging a bet. If I wanted to hedge this bet, and I had a little bit concerned about it, and we'll go into hedging on a later video, is that you have good value on both sides of that money line. You got a plus 105 for the Stars, and you got a minus 125 for the breakers. For me, the way I bet, both of those are playable. So you can use that as a hedge bet. Great example of an opportunity for a hedge bet. And like I said, we'll discuss when, why, and how I hedge and others hedge in the later video. I want to thank everybody again for watching my channel. And please remember to subscribe down below. Become a common sense soldier. Join the common sense army. If you find the content of this video to your liking, please also hit that like button and help the show out and help us grow as we are on our way to 1,000 subscribers. And we try to bring you content on all sports, but more importantly, the small sports. Okay. This is J.K. Wilson. This is Common Sense Bets. And as always, peace out.